I might be the first person that's gonna do a 1,000 mile Saddlesore challenge on a bagger, on a performance bagger that pushes an average of over 200 horsepower and torque to the rear wheel. Welcome back everyone to the channel. I am Crew, host of the channel. As you all know, I'm gonna be hosting the first ever 2147 Crew Texas Saddlesore 1000 challenge. And what that is we're gonna be going from here, which is Houston, to Dallas, San Angelo, San Antonio, Corpus Christi, and then back here within 24 hours. And the distance is about 1,070 miles total. I gave us an extra 70 miles simply because sometimes the GPS roads are not accurate, or there's just some construction going on we don't know about that will give us more or less mileage. So I would rather have a little bit more mileage than the 1,000 versus less, and then we don't get to finish 1,000 miles within 24 hours. Now, you might be asking yourself, why, Crew? And I'm gonna get into all the details. You might be asking yourself, why, Crew? Why are you hosting this first ever 2147 Crew Texas 1000 Saddlesore Challenge? Why? Fair question, fair question. I'm hosting it because it's not an easy thing to do. It's that simple. It's not an easy thing to do. Is it possible? 100%, we can all do it. I just did it on my 2019 new to me CVO and Mako Shark Fade with the 131. I flew from Houston to DC. I bought it in Fairfax, and by the next day, late that next day, I was here in Houston. I basically rode it from Fairfax, Virginia to Roanoke, and then the very next morning I woke up around 3 and I rode it from Roanoke, Virginia straight here to Houston, Texas. That's a lot. That's over 1,000 miles. And while I was doing it, I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and record this, and I made a video on that. Let me go ahead and record this and get my receipts and take a picture with the odometer, so that way when I finish my 1,000 mile Saddlesore challenge, I can submit my paperwork to the Iron Butt Association, also known as the IBA, and they go ahead and review your receipts. I already know the process, and then once they verify your receipts with the odometer and everything like that, then what happens is they're gonna send you your certificate, your patch, your pin, your license plate, and I have it, I just don't have it with me, but I have it in my previous videos, and I'll put the link to that here somewhere, or the thumbnail that I use for that. And my goal is for all of us that started, whether it's just me by myself, or 5 or 10 or 20, or however many it is, that start this challenge with me, to submit the paperwork the next day. And you can do it all online. I know exactly how to do it. I've already done it. I helped one of my friends submit their Saddlesore challenge paperwork, and it was relatively easy. The hardest part is to do it, right? So I just wanted to cover, why am I doing it? For one, because it's not easy to do, man, and I like to do things that are not easy to do, and I'm sure a lot of you all have and like that kind of stuff, right? I mean, I do come from a infantry background when I did my time in the Army. I mean, it wasn't no SF or anything like that, but we definitely slammed doors down, and we were doing our thing. It wasn't easy. Definitely push your limits to the test, right? Back in the early 90s, right? So anyhow, so I just like challenges. Like, I'm sure all of you like challenges. That's why you're watching this channel, because you like the challenges that riding a Harley Davidson or a motorcycle in general brings you, right? So that's why I decided to host it. Secondly, I'm gonna do it on this motorcycle here. Now, I know it's fully capable of doing it, and the reason I say on this motorcycle here is because this is a full-out performance bagger. This is a very, I don't know if exotic is the word, but it's a very exotic build. If you watch my channel, if you haven't done so, subscribe and check out the videos, but I basically bought it a little bit over a year ago. I bought it in January 2022, January 28th, 2022. And I had the 131 under warranty installed, and it was great. I liked it, right? And I don't want to go too much into the weeds, but since then, it is not a stock motorcycle at all. There's nothing stock on it. I ended up adding a turbo system to the 131. And then I like the power. It's a lot of power, and it's responsive. It's boosted, it has turbo on it. So I decided to have Trask Performance build me my whole engine. So this engine, it is a 131. I just have the Screamin Eagle heads, the Screamin Eagle jugs, and the Screamin Eagle pistons. But everything else, even within the heads, the crank has been replaced. Obviously, the Carrillo rods that come with the Manowar Dark Horse crank. I got the best of the best that they can get. Not cheap, but I'll make another video on how much I've spent on this motorcycle. As you can see, I have a lot of carbon fiber parts, custom swing arm, carbon fiber wheels, carbon fiber front and rear fenders, carbon fiber dash, carbon fiber front fairing. So I have a lot of things I've done to it to make it lighter, you know, and that's why I said it's a really exotic build. It's awesome. And then what happened was the turbo system I installed on it initially, or I had Trask install for me over at Sturgis, which I recommend 100% if you want to have some more fun with what you have. I wanted a stainless steel one simply because the environment where I'm at here in Houston, Texas is very humid, right? So I didn't want any corrosion building up. So anyway, so I sold that one and I got their top of the line Assassin turbo kit. So Trask did all that for me. And I have a fully built 131 engine that was put together by Trask and is boosted, and it has a lot. I made a video on it, and I'm not going to give you the exact horsepower numbers and torque numbers, but on the daily, I'm riding on over an average of over 200 horsepower, everybody, on this motorcycle. You know what I'm saying? An average of over 200 horsepower on this motorcycle. And obviously the transmission. The transmission, stock transmission, can I handle it? I'm sure, but maybe some ceramic bearings replaced and, you know, cut and everything. But I ended up going with a garage box transmission from Baker. And I still need to make a video on that. I have the Evolution Industries clutch. I have to make a video on that. I have the Manowar compensator. I have to make a video on that. I got an EKG chain. I gotta make a video of that. I got an alloy art rear sprocket. I gotta make a video on that. I mean, so I got a Trask Check M8 trans top cover. I gotta make a video on that. Actually, that's coming on this one, but I have all of that there. So thank you, Trask, for sending that to me, sponsoring the channel with that. And carbon fiber bags, suspension, like I got a lot. So anyways, I'm gonna button it up because I have videos on this. But I'm gonna put this exotic build that I just described to you to the test, right? Now, I'm fully confident it's gonna make it because I went to Daytona and within 14 hours, everybody, maybe 14 hours and 15 minutes, I rode from Houston, Texas, straight to Jacksonville, Florida. That was 920 miles straight on I-10. No issues, no issues. The only issue I have when I'm riding this motorcycle is I don't have enough road. I don't have enough road because I've taken this bad boy up to past 160. And it's straight. I got a new swing arm from Trac Dynamics. Again, I got a video on that. I got a video on all this stuff, so go ahead and subscribe and check it out. And then the next day I went to Daytona and partied and raced it, and then, you know, did the, I think it's called the Hood Run with the group of guys. I think, I don't want to say their name because I don't know if they want me to say their name, and the group of people that I was hanging out with. But I made a video on that, so check it out. But we're putting them to the test. I might be the first person that's going to do a 1,000-mile Saddlesore challenge on a performance bagger that pushes an average of over 200 horsepower and torque to the rear wheel. Might be the first one. I don't know. But we're definitely going to do it. And we're going to document it. So my thing was, if I'm going to do it by myself and I want to do it here in Texas, why not just share it with y'all? So that brings us to today, right? April 14th, we're going to meet at Kingwood Harley Davidson. I'm going to be there at 4 o'clock in the morning at Kingwood Harley Davidson. And I'm going to share the addresses and everything. And then from there, at 5 in the morning, kickstands up, we're going to hit the road. Now, don't come with a full tank. Do not come with a full tank. One more time. Do not come with a full tank. Come with some fuel, but don't come with a full tank. Why? Because as soon as we do kickstands up and we're no longer individuals and we're just one team, right? We're going to go straight to a gas station. There's an H-E-B across the road, and I think there's a Shell or Chevron right next to the dealership. We're going to go there. We're going to fill up and get our receipts. And we're going to get our receipts, and we're each going to take a picture with the receipt and the odometer. That's what we're going to do, right? And we're going to go from there to Dallas, right? And again, from Dallas, San Angelo, San Antonio, Corpus Christi, and then here back to Houston. We're going to do that all within 24 hours, right? Also, I'm just going to say that tomorrow at 7 in the morning, I'm sorry, 7 in the morning, what am I talking about? At 7 in the afternoon, 7 p.m. tomorrow, Central Standard Time, I'm going to go live on Instagram. Knuckles TV is going to be on there. Houston Performing Baggers is going to be on there. And the one and only Heina Anadina, she's going to be on that live as well. And we're going to do the live just to have kind of a live Q&A with everybody and answer any questions that you guys may have. Don't come with a full tank. We're going to fill up and we're going to go. Now, in terms of the speed, right, because we're going to cover, a little bit over 1,000 miles within 24 hours, right? I anticipate that the GPS says that, or Google Maps says that it's like a 16.5 hour ride. I'm just going to add 4 hours to make it 20 hours. I don't think it's going to take that long. It just depends how much we stop. But I'll anticipate for us to stop for that long of a time. We should be back at Kingwood Harley Davidson by around 11 o'clock, midnight worst case. Midnight worst case, that I guess going into Saturday, because we're leaving at 5 in the morning, right? So if we get there sooner, even better. But we're going to do it together and we're going to finish it. Now, how many people are coming? I really don't know. I have confirmations from several people, and some people might just show up. So I'm anticipating it's going to be at least me, which is one, but I think it's going to be like 5, at least 5. I don't know, 10, 15, 20. I don't know how many people are showing up. I know some people are not going to do the whole ride with us, the 1,000 miles, but they want to meet us in Dallas or in San Antonio. A couple of people already reached out to me. So that's why I'm going to give you guys the address here. What motorcycle you have, what brand, I don't care what you have, what size of engine, that doesn't matter. What does matter is your ability to do 1,000 miles within 24 hours, because it's not easy, everybody. It's not easy. But you can do it. I did it by myself, but when you're in a team, you can do a lot more things as a team than just by yourself. I know that from personal experience. Of course, I don't have to tell you, because if y'all are going to do this 1,000 mile Saddlesore challenge with me, you obviously know that you have to have good tire pressure, good tires, and at least get your oil change, or just it's service, right? And you're comfortable making 1,000 miles. Now, obviously, bring your rain gear. Bring your rain gear. You maybe want to bring your cold weather gear if you have any, or another extra jacket or something. I don't anticipate it, but and I don't anticipate rain. I've been looking at the weather, which is why I waited till now to make this, and we're not supposed to get any rain throughout the area. There's a possibility we might hit some in El Paso. I'm sorry, not El Paso. In San Angelo. But that's like, it's forecasted right now to rain, I think, like at 2 in the morning. And we're not even going to be there at 2 in the morning. We're going to be here. So I don't think we'll get any rain. But anyways, bring your wet weather gear, because you just can't anticipate anything else. You're riders, man. You got, you're going to be ground pounded, man. You got to have your gear. Obviously, have your tools. Whatever tools you need, bring your tools. I'm going to bring my set of tools. And I encourage all of you all to bring your own tools. Obviously, your air pump, probably very important. And I think to plug your tire in case we run into some construction sites and have some nails or some screws that going through our tires, right? But bring your tools. I encourage you to bring your own, because collectively we might have a tool that each one of us need. Now, hopefully we don't even need to use a wrench. But if we do, we got to be ready. We got to prepare to be ready, right? That's the difference between success and failure. Preparation for readiness. Okay, so I covered that. And have a good attitude. And as far as who can come, anybody can come, and everybody is welcome. Now, I mentioned this, I think, on my first or second video, and again, I'm gonna have links to those, or at least put the thumbnails up here if I didn't already. Anybody's welcome to, take pictures, go live on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, whatever social media platform you prefer, you can go live. And I say that because a lot of some people that have channels say, hey, well, wait for me to put out my content before you put out yours. And this is not about that, man. I just want to ride, and I just want to have a good time. And if you all want to join me in having that fun, you guys are more than welcome, which is why I'm reaching out to y'all for the first ever 2147 Crew Texas 1,000 mile Saddlesore challenge. So, okay, before the addresses, I think that's it, man. If you have any questions that I didn't think of, just provide it down in the comments. Oh, one more thing. The next day on Saturday, we plan on meeting at Woody's over in Galveston around 2 or 3 o'clock. To hang out and just talk about the trip, and be like, hey, man, that was awesome. Or you could just tell each other, man, what was I thinking? You know what I'm saying? But I'm not sure about that yet, simply because I think it's supposed to rain during the day. So we'll keep that posted, so keep an eye on my Instagram. But that's the plan, to meet the next day, and if not, maybe the next day, or I'll figure something out. But at least something like that. But again, I'll provide updates on my Instagram if I can't on this, right? So, okay. So, again, we're going to meet at Kenworth Harley Davidson at 4 in the morning. If you guys, and probably around 4:30, I'm going to get everybody together so we can just set the boundaries, the rules. I don't want to say rules because we're all riders, but just to what can we expect, and, you know, in terms of bright lights or low lights and passing, how we're going to do it. The speed we're going to be riding at, it's not going to be nothing crazy. Don't be like, oh my God, I can't go because crew's always going, you know, over, you know, triple digits. No. It's not going to be like that, because I want to get there safe, because we got to be careful with animal life, right? You know, deers or armadillos or anything like that we can get encountered on the road, or just debris. So the address for Kenworth Harley Davidson is 111 North Pines Drive, Kingwood, Texas, 77339. Again, 111 North Pines Drive, Kingwood, Texas, 77339. I'm gonna put these addresses also in the comment section, not in the comment, or maybe in the comment, but in the description as well. All right. So we're leaving at 5. We're gonna go get our fuel, right, and our receipts. That's probably the most important thing about this trip. Before I forget to mention it, is to get our receipts every time we put gas. Now, these addresses, they're for gas stations, and I tried my best to get the gas stations that have gas stations across the street or across the highway. You know what I'm saying? So that way, if it's too many of us, guess what? We'll go here. Or if for some reason we can't get a receipt because that pump's not working, well, guess what? We're going to try to go over there, get a receipt, and then fill up. You know what I'm saying? Or fill up or use, even if it's 10 cents for all I care, but at least we'll figure something out. But that's the plan on that. So there's going to be multiple gas stations around here, and also like with a Subway or something. So I did my best, but you know, that's the deal with that. So the second address in Dallas, Texas. This is the address for Dallas, Texas. Is going to be at Flying J's Travel Center, and the address for Flying J's Travel Center is 7425 Bonnie View Road, Dallas, Texas. Again, 7425 Bonnie View Road, Dallas, Texas, 75241. The third place we're going to stop is in San Angelo, Texas. The address for the third location in San Angelo, Texas is 4515 KNICKER BOCKER Road, San Angelo, Texas, 76904. Okay. Now, the fourth location is going to be a Stripes, and that's going to be in San Antonio, Texas. And it's going to be 19605 I-10, San Antonio, Texas, 78257. Again, it's going to be a Stripes. This is the fourth location in San Antonio. And it's the address is 19605 I-10, San Antonio, Texas, 78257. That's the fourth location in San Antonio. The fifth location is going to be in Exxon at Corpus Christi. And that address is going to be 11201 I-37, Corpus Christi, Texas, 78410. Again, Exxon 11201 I-37, Corpus Christi, Texas, 78401. And then the sixth and final location of our trip is going to be back here in Kingwood, which once again is 111 North Pines Drive, Kingwood, Texas, 77339. That's where we're going to stop.